Hi you guys, welcome back to another video. This video is to go with the pattern that's coming out through Cherished Handmaids, our Etsy store, and still working out the kinks and the details of the pattern, but I just wanted to do a stitch explanation for people that are purchasing the pattern or testing the pattern. And it's a constant trellis cowl, and it's worked in a continuous spiral and for your desired length. And it's a little bit of a different stitch, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick explanation on how to do it. So what you're going to need is your yarn and your hook, and just for the video I'm going to go ahead and use a gray yarn and a smaller hook. This is a 4.5, but I think it's easier to see the stitching when I use the tulips because of the gold hook. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do your chain for what the pattern tells you to chain for. And you can play with the amount of chains also. I mean, you could turn this into an infinity. Remember that it's worked in multiples of 5, so you're just going to continue chaining until you get the desired width of your project, because we're working, oops, wrong way, we're working tails, yeah, we're working the width, we're working how wide we want it. And since this is just the cowl, it's calling for a shorter amount of stitching than if you wanted to do an infinity. But just remember, do it in multiples of 5 and just chain the called amount, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay guys, I went ahead and changed the color of the yarn. This is a Cascade yarn that was provided by, I'm sorry, Never Enough Yarn, and it's a really good yarn shop out of Winchester, Virginia. And they have amazing yarns. I mean, the most beautiful yarns. She has classes available. It's yarn heaven. And here's the address, Winchester, Virginia. And she has a website also. That's right here, and I'll link it down below. But awesome yarn. Awesome yarn. And this was provided for the video. So I went ahead and I chained my desired amount, and you guys let me know. I'm kind of playing with the lighting, so let me know how you like it. So once you get to your desired chain, you're going to skip 1, 2, 3 and put 2 double crochets into that fourth one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochet, 2 double crochets in the fourth chain from the hook. 1, 2. Okay, now here comes the actual stitch, okay? So what we're going to do right here is we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to count back 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to put 2 double crochets into that third chain from the hook. 1, 2. Okay, so there's our first little cluster. Now we're going to come back down to our foundation chain, and we're going to skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 double crochet, slip stitch into the fourth chain, and do a loose slip stitch. You don't want to do it too tight. Okay, so that's what you should have. And then from here we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count back 3. 1, 2, 3. Do 2 double crochets into that chain, and I go through 2 loops just for it to be more secure. So do your 2 double crochets, come back down to your foundation chain, slip stitch into the 4th chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a loose slip stitch, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again 2 double crochets, 3 chains from the hook. So there's 1, 2. Let me get more yarn here. Again, come back down to our foundation chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch, kind of loosely, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 double crochets, the 3rd chain from the hook. Come back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into that 4th chain. And then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 double crochets, 3rd chain from the hook. Okay, come back down to our foundation chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch, chain 4. 2 double crochet, 3rd chain. Oops. 3rd chain. 1, 2. Come back down to our foundation chain, skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll skip 3, slip stitch into the 4th. Okay, see, you guys see the pattern forming? This is it. This is the cluster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 double crochet, 3rd from the hook. Okay, come back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 double crochets. 1, 2. And well, I lost a stitch somewhere, but it should be a 4th. 1, 2, 3. So really, you could fudge it and slip it into your slip knot. But this is a pretty forgiving pattern. I mean, crochet is forgiving to begin with. And do slip stitch. Okay, so let me zoom out. Now this is what we should have so far. Okay, so it's basically a bunch of little nubbies, but this is the cluster. This is the stitch. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna join our rounds. Okay, so depending on how long your first row is, you're going to really want to make sure to not twist it, okay? So just go over it until you come to your end. And then here's where we first, remember we counted 4 and we skipped 4? Okay, we're going to slip stitch into there. You kind of want to, do it kind of tight, give it a pull. Make sure everything's going in the right direction. Okay, and then from here we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do the same thing. Work a cluster. So 1, 2, 3. Do your 2 double crochets into that stitch. Okay, now before we would come down onto our foundation chain and slip stitch. Okay, but we don't have that here. So what we're going to do is find, this is going to close that up. So we're going to come over here and find the chain 4 space. Okay, so your cluster is going to consist of 2 double crochets and then your chain 4. Okay, so we're going to be going between the first double crochet and the chain 4, and we're doing a slip stitch. See where I went? There's the 2 double crochet and the 4 chains, and doing a slip stitch and just pulling that down. Okay, now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 double crochet, 3rd chain from the hook. 1, 2. Okay, now we're coming down to the clusters from our previous row. Here's the first double crochet in the second, and then in between here, see that little tiny hole right there? That's where we want to slip stitch into. Okay, see how it's looking? So, oh, my leg fell asleep. Whoa! Sorry, guys. Okay, so we're going to repeat the cluster again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 double crochet, 3rd chain from the hook. Alright, coming back down. So basically, this is going to close that up. See? We're not working anything in here. This is where we slip stitch in the row before. This is coming down and closing up. So we just need to find your hole between that first double crochet and your chain 4, and then slip. And then do it all again. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how it's starting to look? Basically, they're getting stacked diagonally. So I'll do one more with you. 1, 2, 3. Put 2 double crochets into that chain. Okay, remember this is going to close that hole off. Come over to your cluster. Find your hole between the first double crochet and the chain 4, and then slip stitch. So we're going to do that all the way around, and even when you come back to the beginning of your round, you're not going to chain up or anything. You're just going to slip stitch and then chain 4 up and then continue all the way around. Let me show you. I have one that I'm working right now. Ooh, that is really close. Wrong way. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen as you continue to work, is you see how it causes these trellises. Your stitches start to go diagonal. That's from working in a continuous spiral. It's a really stretchy fabric that's created, but you're just going to continue going into that exact same pattern until you are happy with the height that you have. Excuse me. So let's say I want to end my project. Now, since it's worked in a spiral and not rounds, we can pretty much end it anywhere. But you just want to make sure it's after a cluster is being completed. Let me get back in here. Let's see what I have here. Okay, so I've already done my chain 4, 1 double crochet. Do my second one. Using the wrong size hook, but oh well. Okay, so here's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, our chain 4. There's the space. I used a much bigger hook on this one. Slip stitch. Cut your yarn. Pull it up. And you can go ahead and sew and weave in your ends. So it's not going to be a perfect finish, but once it's on, you are not going to be able to see that. So the ones that I finished, I've gone down and sewn to kind of pull this taut a little bit, and that's it. It ends up looking great. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to email the information below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Bye.